in this spot. Tio, I want to ask you about Michigan State and Michigan. The Spartans rolled in the second half. They won 83-67, and they made a little bit of a statement. I thought that John Crispin on ESPN made an interesting point in that we always want to talk about the talent and the prospects and the guys that could end up being at the next level. We never celebrate the great college basketball teams that have a bunch of dudes that figure it out and play above what the sum of their parts is. And I think that's what Michigan State is right now. Because if you look at their roster, like they got a bunch of guys that you're like, yeah, he's fine. And they put it all together and they're winning a lot of games.
Yeah. And they have a bunch of different guys that can do it. I would argue that Max Christie has some of that NBA flair just because he's young, he's long, he can shoot it, he's skilled. But Gabe Brown has stayed there and been, he's been up and down, but this year he's been pretty consistent. He only had 9 today, but what does this say? This says that Izzo's getting his guys to guard at a high level. I mean, goodness me, Hunter Dickinson still hasn't figured out how to pass out of a double team, but at the same time, like Michigan State's good. Like they're just rugged. They're good. They're big on the wings. I think they're good because they have bodies and length on defense. And they try to play fast. And Hogard has been a pleasant surprise. As much as we've talked about point guards being they have been up and down. They have been up and down, but he has games where he's good. Tyson Walker has games where he's good. And Joey Hauser was finally good today. So
you know what Izzo said the other night? This is what I'll go back to every time. So they were in Champaign. They lose to Illinois without Kofi, without Curbelo. The point guards look atrocious in that game. And he said it best. He did. He said it best in the post game. He said, we are consistently inconsistent. That's what Michigan State is. That's why you can't completely trust them. Now, again, Izzo has done, like Rob said with Bill Self, Izzo has done an incredible job with this group maximizing what they have. But they're going to lose games, maybe like Northwestern, like Illinois and Champaign without arguably 2 of its top 3 players. But they can beat some good teams too.
Yeah, they're when they're at their best is when they have either one of AJ Hogard or Tyson Walker is playing well. They need one of those 2 guys to be really good on any given night. And on the nights when they're not good, they're going to do things like lose at home to Northwestern without Pete Nance. That's not a pretty loss. But they're still right there in the mix when it comes to the Big Ten regular season title race. So you got to give them credit for that. All right, we had some other games in the top 25 that we need to discuss. Illinois struggled a little bit with Northwestern on the road. They ended up getting that win. Xavier used a 29-2 run to open the second half to come from behind and beat Creighton on the road. Arizona shot 3 for 23 from 3 and still found a way to knock off Arizona State. And Villanova beat the doors off St. John's. UConn went into DePaul and didn't play well, but came away with a win. Tio, what was the game that you were most impressed with? What team did you come away thinking the best about?
And you just threw a lot at me there. You know what? I like the win. It's Arizona State when you don't shoot the ball well. And Arizona State's, they're not great this year, but you still have to generate enough energy. Rivalry game. Kirk Kriisa hit a shot and then kiss the floor, fires everybody up, then kisses people in the audience. The ultimate swag guy. You got to love somebody like him. There's just so much good basketball today. I mean, I love this Arizona team. I know they struggled against UCLA away, but man, they have a lot of tools. I'm going to go ahead and stay with the Wildcats there just so I can take it away from Jeff.
No, you know what I got? I'm going to stay out west. I'm going to go with UCLA pounding Stanford at home without Johnny Juzang. Absolutely pounding them. A Stanford team that needed that win desperately. They've got 2 good wins against USC. They've swept them. If they had gotten this win in Pauley, you'd be talking about Stanford having a chance. Again, they're not on the bubble, but they're not far off the bubble. And instead, UCLA without Juzang absolutely crushes them. Tiger Campbell plays really well. I like this team. Again, they were kind of the forgotten team before that Arizona game. They get them again on Thursday at McHale, another game I'll be there for. I'm not stupid. I'm going to Texas and Arizona while there's a 3-foot blizzard going on here.
Yeah, you're right about UCLA. That what they were able to do the last couple of games. I think that they really needed those fans back to kind of give a little bit of enthusiasm to them. You know, it's hard to sit out for a month and then come back and be playing in front of a bunch of empty seats.
How about Xavier on the road?
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Good one.
Xavier was down 17 at halftime at Creighton, who's a tournament team in a building that was filled, an NBA-sized arena that was completely filled, came back from 17 down to go up by 10 before Creighton scored their second basket of the second half. Really impressive. I think, I kind of went in on UConn last night, but I really do think that the Big East has 5 teams at the top that are all good enough to beat the hell out of each other, to win the conference regular season title, and to make a run to the Sweet 16 or the Elite Eight. The top of that league is really good, really balanced, and really, really fun. And I cannot wait to see see the way that it plays out. Yeah.
Is Providence a better program than Georgetown?
I don't need these Providence fans coming after me anymore, man. They're all over me. But are they a better team?
No,
Yes.
no, that's
Is it
not
a
what I
better-
asked.
Is it a better job?
Right.
Georgetown is a better job. I
Thank
don't
you.
think that it's really
Argument.
it really all that close. We could at some point we're gonna have to have a long conversation about what Georgetown needs to do to get back, but we don't need to do that right now.
No.
Because coming up next, we're gonna be telling you about our stock risers and our stock fallers when it comes to college basketball
Here we go.
in the month of January.